President Cyril Ramaphosa will visit the Giyani Bulk Water Project, and he will also engage with communities in Limpopo today. The project is 14 years in the making. It was meant to supply water to more than 50 villages in Giyani. Several project deadlines were missed, and residents who have been frustrated have embarked on numerous protests over the years. President Ramaphosa will be joined by the Minister of Water and Sanitation, Senzo Mchunu. SABC News reporter Lutendo Babodi and video journalist Llewellyn Carstens are covering that for us. Morning to you, Lutendo. Thanks indeed for your time. This particular project, a classic example of projects that drag on for years without any consequence. Residents have been frustrated for years, as I indicated. Does the president's visit there change anything?
Thank you so much, Griselda. I think drag on is a little bit mild. This has been 14 years, as you said, in the making. This dam is massive and sprawling. It was built back in the early 2000s. It's about 43 meters deep, and also was meant to cater for about 1,500 in terms of catchment area. The dam swallowed about 4 villages. You can imagine how big that is. We were over there earlier on, and I wish you could have seen how big the dam is. It's massive, and that begs the question: why is there water problem in the province? Not just Giyani. I mean, this project will only cater for about 53 villages in Giyani, but in the whole province has problem with water. This is second largest dam in the province from Limpopo in Sekhukhune, and then you wonder, it boggles your mind, probably as a layman, it boggles your mind, why is there water problems here? But about the Giyani water project, this is Nandoni Dam, where we are just outside Thohoyandou, and this dam is meant to transfer water into Ntsami Dam, which will then transfer water into the household in Giyani villages, Giyani and the villages around, your Dzumeri, your Dzingidzingi, your Shkukwane, and many other villages. But that has not been happening. It's been a whole lot of problems, your technical deficiencies, problems with traditional authorities, and also it's well documented the issue of corruption or alleged corruption in as far as this project is concerned. But people have been thirsty, and it's not just about drinking, Griselda. It's not just about washing. Also, it affects their businesses. This is Giyani in particular is semi-arid, and people here depend on goat rearing and farming for their livelihoods, this is the reason why people have been frustrated. We've seen a whole lot of community protests. We've reported on numerous of those. But people here are saying, look, the president is here. We're going to vent our frustrations, but we still have little hope that this project will start moving, Griselda.
Been venting. We've seen that with a number of protests that have been held over the years over the dissatisfaction of this project not being complete. Is there any hope that the president's visit today, will not be some, public relations exercise for government to say, we understand your frustrations. What is actually going to change? Has there been any consequence anywhere for anyone who was involved in this project, and it's had to be, postponed several times? I mean, the completion of it, and there's been no reasonable explanation, for the plight of these people who are suffering in that area.
Yes, you use the word or the phrase public relations. I'll use gimmicks. This has been gimmicks, and it has been gimmicks and gimmicks. People have been told it's now 80% done, and now it's 53% done. It's only 4 kilometers done, and it has been postponed about 3 times: September, November, December. I'm talking about the completion date here. Earlier, I think around October, we did a story where we spoke to the Minister of Water and Sanitation, Mr. Senzo Mchunu, who admitted that this project has been an embarrassment, not just to his department, but also to the government as a whole. But there's been promises and promises and promises. But people have little hope that with the president coming here, they could start seeing some movement, because they just cannot wait anymore. Their patience is running thin. That's why we are seeing this protest. There have also been some threats with protests today, but that has not been happening. And we see that people are ready to listen to the president, that people are ready, as I said, vent their frustrations, not in a bad way, not in a violent way, not in terms of mayhem, but just to sit and in terms of dialogue, just to sit and talk to him about that. We are told that the president will be arriving soon here. He will be right here in this building, where he will be talking to the project manager, just to get to know how far along they are. And later on, he will be addressing people in Giyani.
And what has this delay meant, Lutendo, for the people of that area? I know that you did touch very briefly on it. These are communities that rely heavily on farming in this area. So water is quite crucial, not just for hygiene or washing or cooking, but this is a sense of livelihood, that has been impacted for so long. We're talking 14 years. And while that hope is there, I think the best Christmas, I guess, they can have is to get some definite answers about when this will be complete. Not extensions of 4 kilometers, 3 kilometers, because that means absolutely nothing.
What does it mean? Frustration, Griselda. You and I should be on the fence, but how do you justify 14 years of not getting water? I mean, you look at the dam, it says 2004. That is completion date. And why is there no water now? Why is there no water? Where there are dams here? This is not just, you have other dams like Yontsami, you have Litaba, you have other dams, and it's just not justifiable why people are not getting this water. And we cannot justify violent protests, but that is why people have been frustrated, and that is how people have been venting their frustrations. And as I said, they are hoping that there will be some movement, probably by early 2023, they will start getting water. 14 years, no single drop of water. Griselda.
Lutendo, 14 years. I may not know much about how much money was actually spent on this project, but that's what's ringing in my head. 14 years is not going to come cheap. With delays, how much has actually been spent on this project? And if you're able to tell us, perhaps, I could only imagine if it's 14 years, you might have a project that started off at costing a certain amount of money, but that would obviously escalate over the years. How much money is actually being spent on this project? And how have we seen it shift, if at all?
An astronomical 4 billion was budgeted for this project, and I'm not sure if the completion of the dam meant they spent that particular 4 billion. But I think with the prices of things going up, could have exceeded that 4 billion. But what you had is that 4 billion was spent, and that is a whole lot of money. When you spend 4 billion, when the public out there knows that you spend 4 billion, they expect some service delivery.
All right, Lutendo, thank you very much indeed. I'm hoping you'd be able to, have that audience with the president on that. I know just a couple of weeks ago, the minister responsible for this particular sector did indicate they would be embarking on a visit with the president to that particular area to check on progress there. But I'm sure residents are hoping that there would be some sense of finality with the president's visit there. He'd be able to say something to soothe their pain of over 14 years, hoping that project would reach some kind of a completion.